Hi guys, this is Travis from Scroll Saw Goodies. Welcome back to, I guess this is part 6 of a 6-part series. At least I hope it's a 6-part series and not 7. But we're doing a dog portrait in Photoshop, Adobe Photoshop. We're creating a Scroll Saw portrait. This is kind of where we left off. We finished working on this section over here around the neck and the collar. We finished the ear, and now it's time to work on the muzzle. You know, now that I'm looking at it, I'm not quite sure if I'm completely thrilled with the ear, so you know what? Let's go ahead and just change that now while it's still fresh on my mind. I'm just gonna take this thing down and get a larger brush. And we're just going to jump right into this thing because this is a long series. Hopefully it's only 6 videos long. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. I think what I'm going to do is take off this section though. And we'll see how she looks. And let's thicken up this area a little bit. And I think I'm a little bit more happy with that. Bounce this thing back out a little bit. I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this section as well. Yeah, I think I'm much more happy with that. It's kind of funny how you could kind of be bouncing around and then you see a section you're like that you were originally happy with, and then you look at it and you're like, okay, no, something really needs to be done down there. And that's exactly what we did down there. And I found another section that I think I'm just going to thicken this section up. So I'm just going to block that in and just really get that section defined. Whoops. Let's Control Z that out. Let's get back to our number 5 and create our bridge. Okay. So the next part is we got to worry about the chin area, and we also got to worry about the muzzle. And I think let's just start with the chin. The chin looks like a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Let's give ourselves plenty of area to work. And then kind of pop back and forth between the original and I'm just going to go ahead and kind of keep close to this section here, and all of this area here I'm just going to delete. So I'm going to get a number 19 wide brush and just get rid of this section. Okay. Now all this garbage really needs to go as well. Boy, I don't know if that was the best thing to do. Let's try this again. Okay. Okay, so a lot of this section here is not needed. And we'll just kind of take out the sections we don't really need. He does have a lot of whiskers down there, and we do want to play with that a little bit, but we certainly don't need that much. Okay, so I'm going to come back, choose my number 5 brush, and I'm going to just go ahead and start cleaning some of this area up and make it a little bit easier to cut. Okay. Okay, so boy, after all of these videos, I'm kind of running out of things to say. All I'm doing is just kind of continuing doing what I have been doing. Nothing really all that new. I'm just trying to make sure that we have bridges and have nice clean lines to cut. And really it's just interpretation of what's kind of there already. And just, I don't know, a lot of creative BS, I guess. It's probably the best way to put it. Oops. Let's get rid of this because we do need a bridge somewhere. So okay. Well, we already have a bridge over here, so we don't need to. We could go a little ways away. Maybe let's make a bridge over here instead, and let's give ourselves some areas where we could throw a drill a hole for a scroll saw blade. Hey, that looks alright. Let's work on this area over here and let's clean that up. And this section might actually go a little bit quicker than I anticipated, so that's certainly good news. Now, many of you are probably looking at this video and really wondering, do you really want to be spending this much time? I think this is kind of a rare case. I usually don't spend this much time on a portrait. Usually it kind of comes together a little bit easier than this. So, you know, don't let the length of these videos discourage you, because a lot of times these are a little bit easier than what I'm making it out to be, because there's just a lot of fixing that needs to be done on this pattern, and I usually don't have to deal with it that much. Hey, that looks alright. Let's work over here. But I suppose it kind of depends on the pattern. Like I said in the previous one, the last episode, a lot of it depends on the quality of your original photograph to begin with, because the better the color balance and the sharper the picture, the computer knows how to interpret that a little bit easier. So with something that isn't as good of a photograph, I don't really mean to be picking on anybody right here, but this was a snapshot, you know. I mean, it was probably taken with a camera that's just a little snapshot camera, and you're just taking I mean, we all take pictures like this. We're not about to necessarily go out and get some fancy lighting equipment just to take a simple picture of our dog. But what I am trying to say is that the picture quality will make a big difference in how much time you spend on the pattern. And there's even some photos I've worked on that are practically impossible to pull a pattern from. You almost got to say, give me a better photo, and I'll see what I could come up with. There's some of them that are just so dark you can't pull any detail out, and if you can't see any detail, how are you supposed to put it into a pattern? And maybe there's people out there that can, and I'm sure there are people that know anatomy a little bit better than I do. Could probably just look at the basic shapes and forms and know exactly how the muscles and the skin drape and all that other good stuff. I'm certainly not one of those people. I could do some good stuff if I have good reference photos, but if I don't have a very good reference, I'm kind of lost. So I kind of depend on quality pictures. Okay, let's see here. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. We got the shape of the face. Like I said, probably in episode 1 or 2, I'm not too thrilled with the nose. But I'm not going to worry about that right now. What I am going to worry about is finding the next section to work on. I think I'm going to work over here. So, I'm going to make sure I get some good chunks of black area right in through here. And I'm just going to kind of, let's zoom out so we can see what I'm doing. That was a dark area. I'm going to bring that all the way up and through here. I'm going to continue that. Just see what happens. So, get back to 200%. That's my magic number. That's where I like to work. It's close enough to get the detail I want, but zoomed out far enough to know what the heck I'm working on. So, I'm just going to follow these lines, kind of see where it takes us. Let's open that up a little bit. Let's get rid of a few of these islands. And I don't think we're going to need any of these, so let's just get rid of all this garbage. Okay, I'm going to go back to the number 5. Now, one thing I want to say about pattern designing, it really is a lot of fun. Coming up with your own patterns, also helping other people out with their patterns. There's a lot of scrollers out there that they're just not interested in creating their own patterns, and they're always needing help. And it's always kind of a thrill to help out another scroller creating a pattern. Usually they're pictures of loved ones, or as in this case, a picture of a beloved family pet. And it's really a lot of fun to be able to create a pattern for somebody and know that they are really appreciative of that pattern. And what's even a bigger thrill than any of that is actually seeing your pattern cut. I love it when I'm able to see somebody who has taken a pattern that I've designed, whether it be completely custom or just something I threw into the pattern library. I get a huge thrill out of that. You know, there's a lot of times where I just don't have the opportunity to sit behind a saw. But I am usually able to find time behind a computer to design a pattern. So it's kind of a way for me to kind of pretend to scroll saw as I'm designing a pattern and kind of live vicariously through others. But like I said, there's a lot of people out there that don't design, and it is a lot of fun to be able to help non-designers come up with really just unique projects that you won't be able to find anywhere else. And you can see that's kind of starting to kind of come along here. This is kind of a tricky area, mostly due to the fact that, yeah, there is color, but it's not necessarily black. And what really gets difficult about it is that this is kind of a gray tone, but when you're sawing portraits, you only have black and white to work with. So it certainly could be a challenge. So you kind of have to kind of hint at it, I guess. It's probably as best as you can. I got a little carried away there. But at any rate, I'm hoping that those of you who kind of watch this will really enjoy pattern making. Lord knows we need more pattern makers out there, because we all love free patterns. And you know what, too, is if you get good at this kind of pattern making, not necessarily using my techniques, but just being able to take a photograph and turn it into a pattern and scroll saw it and cut it out, it's a great little side business. You know, you do a portrait of somebody's dog, or you know, somebody's grandma. You know, somebody else will see that and they'll be like, you know, I would kind of like a picture of so and so. And before long, you're going to be getting orders. And to be able to do a super custom pattern like this, one of a kind that you'll never find anywhere else, people are going to really, they'll be pounding down your door. And, you know, you could probably make probably enough money to keep you in saw blades at the very least. But you should be able to make a little extra money to buy that new saw that you had your eye on, or some new tools. Because let's face it, we all need new tools, right? My wife kind of tells me that I'm the biggest tool she knows, so I'm not sure if I guess there's some truth into that, but, you know, I'm okay with it. Okay. Let's zoom out, just kind of see what we're doing. I mean, I'm kind of there, not really, but kind of. Let's get this area in here. Like I said, these gray areas are incredibly difficult to do, because we only have two colors to work with, black and white. And if it's gray, what the heck are you supposed to do? Let's go ahead and get rid of that. But anyway, I was saying that you could probably sell some of these portraits of loved ones, these custom portraits where you design it up, you get final approval before you actually start cutting it, and then sell the cut portrait. And I don't know how much. I suppose it really kind of depends on what area you live in, but you know, I could probably see $65, $75, $85 for a custom portrait of somebody. I don't think that's unreasonable. Something that you won't find anywhere else. And yeah, I think you could probably do okay for yourself. No, I'm not sure if you can necessarily offer your pattern designing skills to other scrollers, because we're kind of do-it-yourselfers anyway, just by our nature, you know. So I don't think you can necessarily sell your services to scrollers, but at craft shows and just really word of mouth, I bet you could get, you know, a fair amount of work. The way I would approach it is if somebody brings a photograph in, make the pattern first. Or actually what I would do is maybe get half of your money up front, so $25 down or thereabouts. Make up the pattern. If they're happy with the way it looks and they give you the go-ahead, collect the other half of the money and scroll out the portrait. And what I would do is I would stack cut, I don't know, at least two. Offer the one for $65 and just say, hey, you know, I have this other portrait. If you're interested, I could sell it to you for, I don't know, $35. You know, make it sound like it's a deal. It's an upsell. And what did that take you? Absolutely no extra time. Maybe a little bit of extra wood, but you know, wood's cheap. And I think you'd have a pretty good little sale there. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of that thing up the eye, up the forehead here. Oops. Let's get a bigger brush though, because I don't know where that came from, but I don't like it, and it doesn't belong. In fact, this doesn't belong. Let's get rid of all this stuff over here. Boy, are we going to make it? I only have 7 minutes left. I would really love it if I could finish this entire port. Let's just dig in and see if we can't get this darn thing done. Okay, so we have this dark area here, so let's just block that thing in. Let's get about 9, I think. Okay, so let's block this thing in. And remember that to switch between the photograph and the my drawing, I'm just using the layers palette. It's hidden off screen because I only have a certain amount of space to work with when I'm doing these screencasts. So I just kind of take it off the screen, but it is there. See, it's right over here. Turn it on and off there, and it allows me to kind of a quick reference. So let's get all of this junk done. Bridge that over. Let's bridge it over here somewhere. Okay. Get that done. Okay, yeah, I think we're doing all right. Okay, so there's this section here. Boy, I don't know if we're gonna make it, guys. I think this might be a 7-part series. Painfully long. But dang it, I'm gonna show you the entire process if it kills me. I doubt that anybody's watching at this point. But if you are, God bless you, because you're quite a trooper. Okay, let's go ahead and clean some of this area up. I'm going to get that back down to a number 5 and just clean these areas up. Let's get this area done. Make sure we have a nice bridge. Bridge that area. We might come back to that and get rid of that island altogether. Okay. Let's zoom out a little bit, see where we're at. Okay, let's zoom in over here. And we're gonna bring this area kind of all together. So let's zoom in. Three minutes and counting. I don't think we're there yet. Pretty darn close though. Okay. You know what? I'm definitely going to make this a separate episode because I do not like that nose whatsoever. So we're going to go ahead and fix that next episode. So I'm going to call it good right now. Let's zoom out, see where we're at. I'm going to call it good right now. I'm going to finish up in this this muzzle area and down in here, and I'm going to fix that nose because I just don't like the way that looks at all. So it looks like we're into a part 7 series of videos. Apologize for having it so darn long, but I did want to show you the entire process. So join me next time. Until next time, happy scrolling.